Here we are again, fifth graders, finding the surface area of rectangular and triangular prisms. It's probably one of the more challenging things we do in fifth grade. But hey, you made it through adding and subtracting fractions with regrouping. We did decimals. We found volume. Surface area is just one more challenge. Remember that surface area is if you're going to cover the figure with something. Here we've got a rectangular prism, really like a box, and maybe you have some boxes this size that you want to wrap with wrapping paper, or maybe you want to paint the outside of a box and you want to make sure you have enough material to cover it. Surface area would be what you would use. Now we're going to talk about the features of a box and use those features to help us figure out the area. So with a box you have a top and a bottom, and the top and the bottom are the same size. You have two sides of a box, and they're the same size. And the front and the back are the same size. So to save us a little bit of time, we could just figure out one of those and then double it because we have two of them. That's going to be our strategy here. So let's take a look at this first box. We're going to first figure out what the front is, then the sides, and then the top and the bottom. So the front and the back, the two sides, and the top and the bottom. The front is this piece right here. It's a rectangle, length times width, so it's going to be 30 times 20, and that's going to be 600. Remember, you do 3 times 2 and add the 2 zeros. Now, because we have a front and we have a back, we're going to double this. The front and back are the same sides, so it's 1,200. And I really would just like you to watch me do this one, and then we'll set your problem up over here and we'll have you try the other one in a little bit. Sides sometimes can be a little tricky to see. Let's choose a different color here. Here's one side. Here's the other side. And I'm going to go with this one because I see the numbers over here. It's 20 high, 15 wide. Remember, 2 times 15 is 30. So 20 times 15 is 300. That's for one side. We've got another side, so we'll double it. 600. The top and the bottom. Well, I see numbers on this one. I'm going to do this one. So I've got 30. Ooh, this is 20. What's this going to be? Well, the opposite side of that rectangle, this is 15, this is 15. So it's 15 by 30. And I'm just going to tell you that 30 times 15 is 450. We've got a top, or we've got two of them, right? A top and a bottom. So that's 900. Add those all up. I'm going to quickly tell you it's 2,700 square feet. So I'm just going to leave the periods off. That's what a lot of people do. So 2,700, there's a space, SQ, space, FT. Here is another trick that maybe will make sense to you, maybe not. The numbers that I had were 15, 20, and 30 for my dimension. What we're really doing is multiplying the 3 different combinations of those. So 15 times 20, that was here. 15 times 30, that was here. And then the 20 times 30 was the top one. So we're really just multiplying the 3 different combinations of numbers there. So that's another strategy you can use. I would like for you to try this one over here. And I'd like for you either to copy the box down or at least write the dimensions down. And you're going to do length times width equals some number, and you're going to multiply that by 2 because you've got two of those. The side length times width, and then multiply that by 2. Then the top, same as the bottom, right? Length times width is some number times 2, because you've got 2 of them. So add those, figure those out, add those 3 numbers up, and see if you can get the right answer. It's okay if you get it wrong. We'll go through it in a little bit, but try it. Remember how your brain grows when you get things wrong? Kind of hoping a little bit that you get it wrong, because then you're going to see your mistake and you'll know how to do it better. All right, so let me show you how this would be. So the front right here, it's 12. Opposite sides of a rectangle, 8. 12 times 8 is 96, times 2 is 192. Over here, the side, they gave you 4 times 8 is 32. Sorry, I skipped the 4 times 8. Double that, you get 64. Last one, the top and the bottom. This was a little tricky to find those parts. So here's the top. And they didn't really give you a nice dotted line in here. I'll draw that in for you, kind of sloppily. This figure is the same as this. This side is the same as that, so it's 4. And then this side, same as this, 12. 4 times 12. Oh, my pen is going crazy again. 4 times 12 is 48. Double it, 96. Add that all up, 352 square inches. Grab your calculator. You're going to want it for the next problem. It isn't very often that you have to find the surface area of a triangular prism. I don't know, maybe you have a tent that you're going to cover with some kind of spray to protect it from the rain. I don't really know. But we still have to learn how to do it. A triangular prism has a base and a top that have the same shape. It's a triangle, and we're going to figure out one of those triangles, and then we're going to double because you have 2 of them. Then the other sides that we have are 3 rectangles. Now sometimes those rectangles are the same size, sometimes they're not. And we'll take a look at that a little more closely in a minute. Let's first figure out the triangle. You've got a base down here and a height here. They should have put a little square there for you. So base times height, so grab your calculator. 12 times 18 divided by 2. Remember, you always divide the area of a triangle by 2 because it's like half of the rectangle. So divide it by 2 and you should get 108. Now, there's a triangle here and a triangle there. There's 2 of those 108s. So we double those up. And if you can do that in your head, you get 216. Because the rectangles can be different shapes, I would suggest to you that maybe you number them or maybe letter them, triangle A, triangle B, triangle C, and figure out the dimensions and write those down. Here is one rectangle. So we'll do that one in purple. Here is 18. The other dimension over here is 20. So do 18 times 20. Should get 360. I'm not dividing it by 2 because it's not a triangle. And we're not going to double it up because we only have one of those. Next rectangle. Over here. We've got 20 and 15. That was easy. And you remember 2 times 15 is 30. 20 times 15 would be 300. Add an extra 0. Last one, we'll do green for the Green Bay Packers. Woohoo! This one we've got 15 here. And then what do we have here? This is actually 20. This side is 20, this side is 20. So we're doing 15 times 20. And look at those two sides were actually the same numbers. 300. Add them all up. If we did it properly, we get 1,176 square feet. Square inches. All right, we're starting to run low on our time. We can only have a 15-minute lesson on YouTube. So I would like for you to try this one. I know I'm asking a lot of you. I just want you to do your best. So think about it. You've got two triangles, right? You're going to have two of those. So figure out the area of the triangle and multiply it by 2. And that will give you the sum of those two. Then try those other 3 rectangles that are on the sides here. So you've got one over here. I don't know if this is going to help you or not. Vikings purple on the bottom. And let's do a red one over here. So those are your 3 triangles. I would suggest copying down the dimensions and writing this down on your paper and trying to solve it. See how you do. All right, let's see how you did. All right, base times height. All right, I'm not sure if you saw this, but I figured out the area of the triangle. 6 times 4 is 24. And you have, and then you divide it by 2, you get 12. You've got 2 triangles that are 12. So 12 times 2 is 24. Now for the sides, and I'm not sure which side you did first. They probably should have put another 5 over here when they were setting up this problem so that we knew that this was 5. But you would do 9 times 5 is 45. And it's going to be the same on the other side over here. It's going to be 9 times 5 is 45. The bottom, a little bit different. The bottom is 6 by 9, and that's 54. So if we line those all up, you've got 168.